Sky Prophet, baby. Back with another video, man. Trying to give you a little more enlightenment, a little better understanding of yourself, a little better understanding of your situation. As always, man, hope you got your spirits high, and that's important because there's different spirits out here. A lot of spirits. A lot of spirits you don't know about. Some that have brought you through, some will say the ringer, some will say obstacles, some will say difficulties. It doesn't matter. Through the mud, the ring, however it is. We've engaged ourselves or allowed ourselves to be manipulated by these different spirits. It's not the individual itself. It's not you per se. It's influence. You have to understand that word if you are going to live within this earth. You have to understand that word because it's a duality to it. It's positive and it's negative influence. It doesn't matter how you cut it. It doesn't matter if you playing or if you joking. All of that is irrelevant because when you are born, you simply are being. You're not living yet. You within life, but you're not living. Your living depends on other individuals, I'm going to say abilities to show you how life is. Now, we have to pause right there because of this. We've all been trained, been manipulated through our emotions. We've all been in situations, living this life that has put us in certain ways that we think, certain ways of things that we believe in, right or wrong, our own opinionated state of being. So you're not living yet, you just born. Birth of a renewed nature. Birth of a renewed nature. You don't know things yet. You don't remember things yet. It depends on where you pop out at. It depends on where you pop out at. Okay? Now, through all of that, you don't have that. You have the inability to live. It's not till you come into a certain knowing. All before, all these kid stages, you can go to the park. You go into the park, you encountering this, you encountering that. You go here, you encounter. All you're doing is encountering. All you're doing is encountering at first. Like, yeah, you know where the park at and where your house at. You know where your friend's house. Like, all these things. But you not never sitting down and grasping the scope of none of it. It's just a reality that you running through. You running through it. It's encounters. It's called encounters. All right. Now you're gonna go through all these encounters. One day you're gonna wake up, and it's gonna just seem like all of a sudden you have all these feelings, you have all these emotions, you have all of these opinions about different things. It doesn't matter what it is, good, bad, doesn't matter who or none of that, where. It's just a bunch of different opinions that, as far as information go, you've accumulated within yourself through all of these encounters. You've learned some of them along the lesson, and you've failed some of them along the route. But you wake up, and now all of a sudden, if I do this, I'ma feel bad. If I do this, I'ma feel good. I don't want to do this. I want to do that. That all comes from your inner knowing. Listen to Prophet. Your inner knowing from your encounters. Like it's really your first stages of feeling by yourself. I'm not talking about you want a candy and they didn't want to buy it for you down the aisle. Like, this is different. This is you by yourself within the world. You can go to and from alone now. So you got all this. What you're doing is establishing yourself. You're taking all this information from all these encounters, and now all of a sudden your viewpoint of life is not so much as you on your own as you can think for yourself, which you can do that since you cried for the bottle. That's what crying for the bottle was. You thinking for yourself. You understanding that when I do that, they bringing it. When I do that, they changing my little shitty butt. Like that's what that was. But we not aware. We not aware. It's just encounters. All of it is just encounters. But you come into this certain knowing before you just being. Okay? Now when you come into this knowing, that's when you put yourself together. That's when your being, just being here, coincides, mixes up in a cup all of a sudden with who you've become. Who you've become through all these encounters, how you feel about things, what you want, what you don't want. The thing with that is, some of it, I'm making a video, stay in the house. Some of the things is valuable as far as what you thinking, how you thinking. Some of it is not right because we never learned perceptions. We seen them, but we never understood them, understood them. That's when you become. That's when you become. Now, when you become, you still ain't got it fully right, figured out, or nothing. Once you become, you pass the encounters. Now, when you become, it's you. You know it's you. When you leave, you by yourself. You thinking by yourself. When you hungry, you go and eat. Nobody got to ask you, like none of that. It's a different level, it's a different stage, a different phase, okay? So now, it's situations. It's situations. Because everyone you run across, you got to sit down by yourself within your brain, within your mind frame, and try to sort it out just through what you know and see and however you go. From there, you start to develop. You start to develop through them situations. You start to develop a mind frame. A mind frame. This is not your brain. This is mind, body, and spirit. See, when we come here, we don't know nothing. You don't know nothing about no bottle, no nigga. You don't know none of that. All you have is a brain. All you have is a brain. There's a reason you hear both of these words separate because they separate. Your mind frame is supposed to be at a way higher capacity than your brain. I'm saying it like that, but your brain is supposed to take in and filter the things that's not good and keep all of the positive, beneficial, all of those things. Because let Prophet ask you this. Before you get to the word been, I've been there. You gotta be. You gotta be first. Before you even been, you have to be. So you gotta know yourself before you go. Before you encounter these situations now. Like it's a different understanding that you supposed to have within yourself. Through all of that, you've been taught you had a creator. You've been taught to go to church. You've been taught maybe a certain religion. You've been taught certain ways to go about things. None of it was wrong. None of it was wrong. Listen to Prophet. None of it was wrong. All of it was for you to come to a inner standing through the encounters, through the situations, and through who you want to become. That's where overcome comes in it. Because once we overcome, We done went through all of these different phases. We done went through the phase where we couldn't do nothing and didn't know nothing. Then we went through the phase of we know something, but we actually don't know nothing, but we making decisions. It's our own ability to think, and be opinionated. And then through that, you start feeling now. Now you feeling, now you got consequences to the decisions you making, to the choices, to your free will. But you don't have the power to put with the will. It molds you, it shapes you, and it gives you a certain mind frame. When you get the mind frame, it's just simply a layout that works. But we not in that frame, we not in a spiritual frame of mind. We in a mind frame that we have a creator, you can trust in him, he gonna come through, all of that. All of that's right. But whenever you encounter it, do you feel like it's right? You don't, because the emotions overcomes what you know. Like what you actually know. It just steps on top of what you know. You know to have the faith. You know how big the mustard seed is. Like you know all of that. And you try. And it's just a thought. So think about this. Why is it that hard to stay focused in believing? Believing that it's gonna happen for you. It's because of these spirits. It's because of us being unaware. It's because of the way this world, this earth, society is shaped and formed. You're supposed to find everything else and every other type of thing beside yourself. Besides yourself. This earth, the people within it, the life you live, the life you even see others live. Observe it. You have to observe it. Your mind frame is right now. If somebody knock on your door and ask you something, I don't know what they're gonna ask you, but they might ask you something. However you done organize your mind frame is what you coming up with, like instantly. You know, some of them is good, some of them is bad. The way we train ourselves, you know. But I'm saying all of that to let you understand that it's stages that you've went through. You went from not knowing to actually knowing. Like you actually know. You actually have experience through encounters, situations. Like you have that to stamp as far as you getting through things. Somebody watching over you. The energy's being provided for you. It doesn't matter if it's always been peaches and cream. Everybody don't eat peaches and cream. Like we don't focus on little simple things. Like it's not even about that. It's about you right now. If you listening right now, you done been through some things. Cause Prophet been through some things. We all have. But it don't pay for you to sit right now after going through all of it and bring one of them up. Like it makes no sense. Like it's wanting to live within that. We don't want to live nowhere. You never want to live. You want to be living. You want to be living. You want to be in motion. You want to be within change of thought, within change of perception, within change of situations, within change of your day-to-day thing, because things change. I'm not saying you got to switch where you go. You got to switch all this. The way you form your mind frame has to change. All of it. Every perception of what you thought you knew, you know. Some of it you have feelings about. That's within. That's within. That's your inner. You know if that resonates with you and nobody can take it from you. That has to be based within love. If whatever that is not based within love, You holding on to something that you shouldn't. You holding on to something through your ego. You holding something on to something through you thinking you need it to survive. All of this brings you to establishing. You get the mind frame. Now you can establish the recipe. It's a recipe for living. It's different recipes for different people. But when you can get to the part to where you can actually sit down and understand that, man, it's a recipe that I can have to put it in order. Because thinking out your brain, you're not thinking order. Whatever come in is just going out. It's going out through movement. It's going out through you blurring off the mouth, but it's not going through, it's not thinking involved. It's not true thinking involved. Maybe if it's cross the road, that type of thing, but nothing deep as far as an intellectual aspect of yourself and your mind frame and brain, no. So when you establish the recipe, what it actually is rest in peace. It allows you to be living within this earth, within peace. You could rest. Your time not spent worrying about things. Your time not spent over exhorting yourself to things. Your time not spent over perceiving just your opinions. You could rest. You can rest. You don't get the recipe until you understand that your mind, your body, and your spirit has to be one. It has to be one. How that's gonna work if I need to go pee my body, but I don't want to get up. But I don't want to get up. That's my mind frame. I don't want to get up. Every time I need to pee, I don't want to get up. You know, Spirit said that's a pissy spirit that I would wind up with. A pissy spirit. It all has to go together. It has to. When you want to go do something, you want some water, whatever, you tell yourself that. It's actually, you give a command to your body and you move. You move. You move and you use your vision to get there. You use it to get there. You know? So the way that you living, the way you moving, the way you perceiving, it is all supposed to be coincide with your mind, your body, and your spirit to get you where you need to be. Now, where you need to be, you don't know. You think you know, but you have no idea of where you actually could be headed if you get in a vehicle with spirit and let spirit guide you. Because you go through these problems, you act out, you have this ego, you opinionated, you be jealous because somebody else have. It's only, and prophet been there, it's only because this is shadow we living within. This vessel is our shadow. The vessel is your shadow. The vessel is what you want people to see. Like, you can empty the inside of you. That this vessel is what you want people to see. When they see you, how they see you or how they perceive you, that's what that is. But you have a way much higher calling to yourself. You put within this body to understand that it's just a means of getting you where you need to be. But you have no control. You have no control. You shouldn't want to have control over how it appears to people, because once it's fixed on the inside, people will see it on the outside. Like, that's just what it is. And if you can tell me you took a dump first before you knew you had to, get in touch with me, man. Cause like that's some new stuff too, you know. Like, but it's levels, it's processes, man. It's steps that we have to take. But you gotta understand that you came from not knowing all the way till actually knowing now. You know now. Like when you wake up, you understand that it's somebody that opened your eyes. You opened them, but you still have this energy. You still have this life source within you. You still can think. You able. You able. You able. Prophet wants you to protect your energy, protect yourself to and from. Watch your surroundings. Watch what you take in your ears. Watch what you give out your mouth. Your mouth is one of the most important things that you have. Is your creator, then is your heart, then is your mind frame, then is that blood that runs through that, and is all being provided by your higher source, your God, who you believe in. We don't want to get mixed up in it because some people believe in Buddha, Allah. Is different religions to people. All that is, it's opinions. It's opinions within the same thing. It's opinions within a greater, higher power. It's just the perceptions that we have, or we will write down, that you will read, and it's just an opinion, but it's supposed to be an opinion because it's encounters and situations that we run into that brings us into a knowing. Like it's what you're going to encounter tomorrow, today, whenever. It's what you have within yourself, your belief system, your higher knowing that's going to guide you to where you need to be through that. But it comes on the daily. It comes through information. You know, like Spirit telling me now, the average individual, I even said it, the average person say they don't like school. I don't like school. We just don't like school because there's other things that we deem to be more important than school. Some of them was sleeping. Some of them was gonna get drunk, smoke. It don't matter. But like that's just our perceptions of it. But even if you didn't go to school, you still got to get information. You still gonna get information. We get that with every encounter because we get to see, we get to hear with every encounter, every situation, man. We get to see people acting good. We get to see people acting bad. We get to experience ourselves acting good and acting bad. We even get to see ourselves feeling bad about certain things and feeling good about certain things. We even do that with other people. Listen to Prophet Good. I want to pause right there because let's not get it twisted. We all have an opinion. We all have an opinion. If I have an opinion about you, I'm really not supposed to tell it to you unless it's a good opinion. Because if it's a bad opinion, then you gonna think that I think bad of you, or I focus on the bad in you, or that's just what I'm looking for. This is how we perceive things in our brain. Your mind frame shouldn't play that because what it is correcting ourselves. We don't understand that though. You know, we don't understand that. If Prophet got 12 wrong and you got 3 wrong, that's because you either studied, you paid more attention. It's something. It doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter how I feel. You could have heard it one time and just remembered it. It's just how I'm going to perceive it. That's why the opinions, it should never be there. It should never be there unless it's good because all it does is be bad. That's why we shouldn't judge nobody. You know, we shouldn't judge the next individual. We can't be a judge if we getting judged. Prophet wants you to protect your energy, protect yourself to and from. Watch your surroundings. Watch what you take in your ears. Watch what you give out your mouth. Help somebody if you can. Give somebody some words of encouragement if you can. I got words of encouragement. You will never be one until you understand that your mind frame, your brain, is teaching your mind frame how to listen to your spirit and make your body move to a certain tune. Till next time, love everybody, man. Sky Prophet, baby. Peace out.